Good evening. Today's lesson, you're going to learn how to plot ordered pairs in the coordinate plane. We've already done that, if you recall, with positive numbers. Now we need to introduce negative numbers into the mix. So let's understand what a coordinate plane is. So we've been working with number lines recently. Okay, here is just two number lines with numbers ranging from from 6 to -6. So how we make a coordinate plane is I just take one of these number lines and I flip it and I turn it vertical, and they intersect at the 0. So now if you're looking at this grid here, you should see that these two number lines that you've now intersected, you have 4 different regions, and those are the regions we're going to talk about today. And you also see this area right here where they intersect at 0, and that is called the origin. So let's just take a look at our coordinate plane on our notes. Okay, I've been looking at my notes. This is now my number lines that I had intersected. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then -1, -2, -6, and then vertically, remember, it's like we think about this as sea level. Vertically, we go positive. So then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then going down, I have -1, -2, -3, 4, -5, -6. Okay, so here are our 4 regions. Now I need to label these regions. And these regions are called quadrants. Okay, so I have 4 quadrants. Okay, quadrant 1, if you notice, is bordered by all positive numbers. So this is quadrant 1, and the type of ordered pairs I would have in here would be positive and positive, because anyway, if I want to get up into this region, I'm going to have a positive x coordinate and a positive y coordinate. And this is the quadrant that we were in last chapter. We did a lot of our plotting points in this quadrant. Okay, so then we go counterclockwise to quadrant 2. There's quadrant 2. Well, what do you notice? This is surrounded by negatives on the x-axis and positives on the y-axis. So then I have to have a negative and then a positive in that quadrant. And then I have my third quadrant. And if you notice, this is bordered by all negative numbers. So both of my coordinates need to be negative. And then if you look in this last quadrant, which is our 4th quadrant, we have positives for our x, and then we have negatives for our y. So this is positive and negative. Okay, let's just label our 2 axes. So we've got our y-axis, and we've got our x-axis. And then, as I had said earlier, this ordered pair right here, I'm going to draw a line out here so we can see it. That is called the origin. That is where those 2 intersect, and that ordered pair is 0, 0. So let's remember how we move in the coordinate plane and what an ordered pair looks like. So I have an ordered pair, and that looks like x, y. That is the typical setup for our ordered pair. Well, here, the x now, before we only moved to the right because we were only dealing with positive numbers. Well, now, my x, I can go left if my number is negative, or I can go right if my number is positive. Okay, so negative is to the left and positive is to the right. Now if I'm doing my y's, I will go down if it's negative, or I will go up if it's positive. And we've done that with our vertical number lines, talking about elevation. If I'm below sea level, we go down below the water. If I'm above sea level, I go up to a mountain. Same thing that we've been doing in class. Okay, so let's practice naming some ordered pairs. So write an ordered pair. So it says write an ordered pair corresponding to the point. Well, I want to write the ordered pair corresponding to point A. So I have to find point A. Well, here's point A, right there. Well, I need to write directions to that point, pretty much. Well, we always start at our origin. And I'm trying to get to A. And we always go left to right first because our X comes first. And a good way you can remember that is X comes first in the alphabet. So your X movement comes first on the number line. So if I'm going over here, I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went to the right 4. So let's write that down right now. I went to the right 1, so it's positive, and then I have to go down 1 to get to A. So if I'm going down below sea level, that represents a -1. Okay, let's look at point B. Once again, we always start in the origin, and I always go left or right first. So I have to get over here, so I have to go to the left. So 1, 2, 2 to the left is -2, and then I have to go up, which is positive. So 1, 2, 3 to get to B. Now let's look at point C. He's way down here in the corner. So I'm here at the origin, and I have to go to the left. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went to the left 4, which is -4. And then now I have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is also -4. So -4 will get us to C. And then our last one is point D. Well, I started at the origin, and you ask yourself, well, I didn't have to go left or right. Well, so you would write 0. I didn't have to go anywhere, so I'm right here on 0. And then I have to go down, which is 1, 2, 3, which gives me 0, -3. So take a moment, make sure you understand how I found all of those ordered pairs, and then try the on your own questions next. Okay, welcome back. All right, example 2, plotting ordered pairs in the coordinate planes. Now this is by far the most important thing. You are going to be graphing functions from now until you are done with calculus, done with math. So you really need to understand how to plot ordered pairs, because that's how we plot, that's how we graph our functions, is we need to graph their solutions, which all of their solutions are ordered pairs. So let's label our graph here first. So I know that this is my x-axis, and then this is my y-axis, and this point right there, well, that's 0. And then we're going to number our number line. It's much easier when we number our number line. Okay, and then I'm going to count 2, 4, 6, -2, -4, -6. Same thing, I just skipped ones. So I went 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just didn't write the odd numbers. Okay, now let's plot these points. It says plot and name the quadrant or axis. So we're going to plot it, and then we're going to write the location that it's in. So -3, 4. Well, let's remember, and if this helps you, write out x and y right above -3, 4. So you know you have to go to the x first. So x is left or right, remember. So that means this tells me I have to go -3 to the left. So 1, 2, 3 to the left. And then I have to go 4 on the y-axis, so I have to go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I plot my point. So I always start from my origin, and then I move to the left or right first, and then I go up. So this is my A. Now let's look at the B. I have 5, -3. Well, once again, write our x and our y right on top. I know I have to go 5, so 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have to go down 3 because it's negative. So 1, 2, 3. Down 3. And there's my point right there, just point B. Now let's look at number 3. -4, 0. Well, let's write our x and our y. And now I have to go to the left, -4. So I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it says up or down 0. So then I'm done. So all I have to do is plot my point on -4, and that would be point C. Now let's look at number 4, -2, 5. So -2, -5. So once again, write my x and my y. So I know for sure I have to go to the left 2. So 1, 2, because it's negative. And then -5, well, do you see a -5 up here? Nope, I see a -5 down here though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my point for D. Okay? This point for number 5, this is what we did last chapter when we had, or chapter 4, where we had our positive coordinates. Well, let's go 4, 2. So 4 on the x is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have to go up 2, 1, 2 to plot my point. And I get E. And then our last ordered pair, I have 0, -2. So once again, I'm at 0. It says I don't go anywhere. I don't move left or right. I stay right at 0. And then it says go down to -2. So 1, 2, which is F. Okay, now that we have all of our points plotted, let's name the quadrant that they're in. Quadrant A, or point A, lives up here. He is in quadrant 1, 2. He's in quadrant 2. Point B, he's down here. Well, if you start here and we go, and this is the, if you can remember, this is the first quadrant you learned. So this is number 1. So number 1, 2, 3, 4 is B. C, he's right here. He's right on the axis. Well, which axis is he on? He's on the horizontal one, which is our x. So he's on the x-axis. And then number 4, which is D, he lives here. So we start again here. 1, 2, 3. He's in the 3rd quadrant. And E, well, he's in the one we're familiar with, so he's in that 1st quadrant. And then F, he is on the y-axis, because he didn't have to move left or right, so he is on the y-axis. So take a couple minutes, watch the video again if you are a little bit confused on how to move, and then I would like you to try this on your own. Okay? There are 45 points that you need to plot. And what you need to do is, as you plot them, you need to connect the dots. Otherwise, it will get very confusing if you try to connect the dots at the end. So start with number 1. So you're going to go 6, 9. So you're going to go over 6 and then up to the 9. So that's the order pair for 6, 9. And then you're going to go, and don't write the number 1, just plot the point. And then you're going to go to number 2, which is over 4, and then up 11. And then you're going to go here. And then you're going to connect the dots. And then you're going to keep going and going. And as you do one, cross it off so you don't get confused. And then you should get a picture in the end. Good luck and have a good night.